what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the brand new podcast. Welcome into the courtroom. Good to see you all. Glad you can make it. I am the $1 million man with the plan, the one, the only superpower man of the hour. That's right. I am Judge Kentrell. Welcome to the verdict. You made it. You're here. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. What is going on, everybody? So good to see you. Let's dive right on in. This is a new podcast. It's going to be something special. It's a passion project of mine that I've been trying to put together for so very, very long. And I finally did it. And here we are. And yeah, so let's just jump right in. Thank you all so much for joining me for the very first episode of this podcast. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to get into a bunch of nonsense. We're going to have special guests. If you watch the teaser trailer, then this is all, old news to you. So I'm not even going to, get into all that, because if I know you and if I know my loyal fans right there and my people of the jury, I know you watch what I put out. So with that being said, let's jump right in. I started this podcast for a lot of reasons. I think if you know me, you know that I'm a talker. It's what I do. It's what I love. I am a performer extraordinaire, an entertainer. It's what I love to do. I love making people laugh. I love making people smile. It is cathartic and therapeutic for me. So this podcast is just me, sort of giving myself an outlet to talk to all you people out there and hopefully bring in a new target audience as well. So, just listen, I guess, or watch. If you're watching me and you're seeing all of this and what I'm doing and stuff, all that stuff, to watch this. I don't know if you know that is Usher. It's neither here nor there. But if you're watching this, that means you're watching and you're following and you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, Judge Kentrell Entertainment, JCENT, or you're listening to the sound of my beautiful, soothing, smooth jazz Kenny G-like voice on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. But yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. And I think today I want to talk about my transition to college, because if you don't know me, if you don't know my story, I am a freshman. I am a freshman at Cal State East Bay in Hayward, California. And, high school has just ended for me, and it's really weird right now. Like, I'm doing all the adulting things and the normal things that I do, and it's kind of crazy. It's wild, really, to think that just what feels like just yesterday, I was starting high school, and now here I am starting college, and I don't know what I'm doing. But it's one of those things where it's hard life, and you go through the day, and I feel like, for me, I feel like it's set in for other people, but it hasn't set in for me. Just because I still feel it's what I'm doing. Like, this is, like, it doesn't feel like college yet. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm on my own. Like, it doesn't feel like college. Maybe that's because I'm still close to home, but I just feel like I'm just here, vibing, enjoying life, what it is. And I feel like that's the part of the adulting that I'm sort of like getting used to, is that, like, it's no longer about, oh, I have to do this thing. It's like, no, this is just my life now, and this is what I do. So in that aspect, it's very much adult and adulthood, but is as such with the world. Some crazy news coming out of the world today. Well, not today, but in recent lore. I don't know words. I just say things, and whatever comes out is what you get. But no, recently Marvel. I'm a huge Marvel fan, big comic book nerd, all that stuff. So recently, Marvel, they held Comic-Con in San Diego, I believe. Good old Hall H. Hall H has been home to so many great trailer drops, so many great announcements, and this year was no different. We finally know a little bit more about where the MCU is going, which is awesome. This is dope. I love that. Phase 4 is almost over, and what better way to close Phase 4 than with Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I'm really excited about this movie. I am so pumped. If if you know me, if you have been rocking with me, if you're a friend of mine, you know how much Black Panther means to me. I love Chadwick Boseman. I loved his work, not just in Black Panther, but his work as Jackie Robinson and Thurgood Marshall, and his work on 22 Bridges, and his work on the James Brown movie Get Up. Like everything that that man did was so impactful to the entertainment movie industry, whatever you want to call it. And Black Panther's no different. And I think Black Panther is just like the it's a great representation of what Chadwick stood for, and who Chadwick was and what he believed in. And so I'll always be grateful to him for giving that to us before he sadly left us back in 2020. And shout out to Chadwick Boseman. I mean, look at this. When you think about it, this man for 4 years, from 2016, when Captain America Civil War dropped and he first debuted as Black Panther, T'Challa, all the way to 2020 up until his unfortunate passing. That's a 4 year span in which he was still producing hit after hit after hit in terms of movies, right? You do Civil War, that's a hit. You get ready and you do Black Panther in 2018, that's another hit. You do Infinity War and Endgame, those are both hits. Those are box office smashes. You do you did Thurgood, the Thurgood movie, Marshall, which was great. You did 22 Bridges about which was based in New York. Great film. Check it out if you haven't seen it. You do the epic with well, I feel like epic's the wrong word, but you do a really masterful job. You put on an acting masterclass really in um, the Ma Rainey film that you did with Viola Davis. Um, and honestly, he should have won the Oscar for that. Chadwick Boseman should have won the Oscar for that film. What he did, what he did in that film was incredible, or so I've heard. I still have yet to watch the film because here's my deal. It took me a long time to watch Black Panther after he passed. Months. I'm talking months. It took me months to finally get around to watching Black Panther after Chadwick passed, and um, that was tough. And I just remember feeling within myself that like it was time for me to watch it when I ultimately did watch it again for the first time after his passing. Um, and since then, I have seen it and I've watched it a bunch. And shoot, I might watch it later. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I'll watch it later. Um, but since then, but right before he passed, he had a movie coming out in November on Netflix with Viola Davis, and it was about Ma Rainey. And I don't remember the name of the title here. I can look it up, but um, I just remember hearing so many great things about the film and how great he did in it, and just how excellent Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Yeah, I just remember how hearing about how excellent he was in the film, and Viola and a bunch of the other cast members talked about the performance that Chadwick delivered and put into that film, and um, so but just kudos to him to have gone through what he did for 4 years quietly and not tell a single soul. Obviously, his inner circle had to have known what was going on, but to have not told and to have not in a world where mass media and pop culture and social media, everything is everywhere and everything gets out. The fact that he was able to keep this under wraps, it he will forever be, in my opinion, one of the strongest actors of this or any generation. Not just about performance, but the way he carried himself, the way he acted, the way he took on the roles that he did. Because you got to think about this: Chadwick Boseman took on black icons. I'm talking King T'Challa of Wakanda, James Brown, the Godfather of Soul, Jackie Robinson, the guy. When you think of people breaking barriers back in the 1960s for African American individuals, you think Muhammad Ali, you think Jackie Robinson, you think Martin Luther King, you think Malcolm X, but specifically in the sports realm, and even you go as far as say entertainment, Jackie Robinson and Muhammad Ali are probably the two most individuals, the two most talked about individuals in that regard. And so to have played those characters, to have played Thurgood Marshall, um, you know, characters with so much importance, so much significance, and the weight of each character, the weight of each role had to have taken a toll, but he handled it flawlessly and effortlessly. So Just shout out to Chadwick Boseman. Um, but yeah, I don't know why I went on a Chadwick Boseman rant, but you're welcome. Um, because I was talking about Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Listen, this movie, this movie, man, this movie, uh, it it's going to be tough. I'll be honest. This movie is going to be really tough to sit through. Not just for me, but for anybody. Really, it's going to be real tough to sit through and not get a little choked up or even a little emotional, right? Because maybe you're not a crier, which is fine, to each their own. But um, to not get a little emotional about it, um, it it it's it just it can't it won't work. It won't happen because you got to think about it. And that trailer, that teaser trailer alone. I don't need to see any more trailers. And I've recently been trying to stop watching trailers after No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness. I've been trying to stop seeing trailers so that I am completely surprised no matter what. Not just for superhero movies, but in general. Like I didn't want to watch the John Wick teaser trailer, but I watched it because there wasn't too much going on in that trailer anyway. Um, but I'm trying to stop watching trailers so that when I go into movies and I know they're coming out, I can be totally surprised. However, trailers are also like one of the only ways I realize like when a movie is coming out. So it's a push and pull, it's give and take. But um, that trailer was just it was it was special, and the way they implemented Kendrick into it, and um, the way they just It wa it was a phenomenal they did a phenomenal job with that trailer, and shout out Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, the director of, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. He directed one of the Creeds, I think the first one, if I'm not mistaken. He's directed Fruitvale Station. He's out here. Ryan Coogler is out here directly, and shout out to him, especially because he's from the Bay Area, he's from Oakland. Um, so, yeah, it's incredible. I'm not sure who is going to take Chadwick's place as far as becoming the new Black Panther. There are a lot of ways Marvel could go with it. In the comics, M'Baku, played by Winston Duke in the MCU, M'Baku becomes king of Wakanda after T'Challa passes away, but Shuri becomes the Black Panther. So they could go that route. Or they could make M'Baku the king of Wakanda and the Black Panther, or they could make Shuri the queen of Wakanda and the Black Panther. I'm open to all possibilities. I want it all to happen. Um, I'm not sure how they'll go about it though. I've been against a T'Challa recast, but in recent years, I've learned that an actor cannot be bigger than a character. And what I mean by that basically is that, let me think about a non-superhero um, comparison or analysis for my non-superhero friends. Um, you uh, think about like Harrison Ford will always be remembered for playing Han Solo and Indiana Jones. But if Harrison Ford had ultimately, passed away during the time of him playing those characters, I think you'd still want to see, um, other actors take their stab at it. That's more likely Indiana Jones than Han Solo, but like 007. 007 is constantly getting recast all the time, and I think the great thing about 007 being recast all the time is that it gives each actor different and unique opportunities to add something new to the role. That's why I've always said once Daniel Craig was done, and I think Daniel Craig, shout out to all the other Bonds that there have been, Pierce Brosnan, the other guy, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting his name. Ah, that's so upsetting. But the other James Bonds that there have been, but Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan, like all those guys, they did phenomenal. But I've always said that once Daniel Craig was done, Idris Elba should play James Bond. And Trevor Noah has a great joke about the way in which our world works and why so many people were averse to having Idris Elba come into that role, even though he would body it. He would body that role. You hear me? Um, but I just think it would be incredible. And so when I say the actor cannot be bigger than the character, that basically just means it can't get to a point where no matter how good of an actor you had to portray a certain character, no matter how flawless their performance was, you know people are gonna want to see that character more in action. Like, who on the planet doesn't want to see more Black Panther, right? um but as heartbreaking and as tragic as Chadwick Boseman's death was, at some point you are going to need a new T'Challa, because there are so many stories left to tell about T'Challa and about T'Challa's legacy and about T'Challa's life and about T'Challa's time as the king of Wakanda and as the Black Panther. And I feel like if Chadwick was here and he just couldn't play the role anymore, but he was still here, I feel like he would want someone to come in into his role and take that spot so that T'Challa's story could be told. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's who Chadwick Boseman was. He was a storyteller. Um, so I don't think they should recast him right away, but since they're doing this whole multiverse saga, that gives them the perfect foundation to at some point introduce a new T'Challa. And I think it has to happen at some point. It does not have to happen in this movie. If you give Ryan Coogler another movie, another two movies or whatever, to introduce a new T'Challa, given everything that's going on with the MCU and the multiverse and the way it works, I think you take a stab at it then. But at some point, Kevin Feige, the good people at Marvel, you guys got to start thinking about. You guys got to start thinking about recasting that role for sure. I want to really quickly read the Oscar nominations for Best Actor. Um, the year that Chadwick was nominated for Best Actor. Um, I want to look at that really quickly and show you all that and explain my grievance with it and my my problem with it. So in 2021, I believe, was when Chadwick was nominated for the last time, um, and he was nominated for um, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which again did flawlessly for. And let me just read you. Let me just read you, and the movie itself didn't get nominated for anything, right? Like, the movie itself didn't get, I don't think, got nominated for an Oscar. I'm not sure, and I'm honestly not sure how the movie did, because, like I said, I have yet to watch it because I know it's the last thing that Chadwick did, and for the same reasons that it took me so long to watch Black Panther after Chadwick passed, same thing with this movie. I think it will. I think it will at some point. I will watch it. I just don't know when that point is. So the movie got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't trust Rotten Tomatoes more than I trust the people making decisions about the law. But it also got a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb, which I have an IMDb. I'm being serious. Go look me up, Judge Cantrell, on IMDb. I'm there. I got 2 movies, 2 credits, and they know when my birthday is, but I don't have a photo yet. Got to work on that. Got to work on that. But they got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, and a 6.9 on IMDb is nothing to sneeze at either. So, not bad, not bad at all for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. But I'm trying to see here if they got nominated for anything at the 2021 Oscars, because the movie came out in 2020, and so obviously if a movie comes out in the year, they'll get nominated the year after. Like, if a movie comes out in the year 2020, it'll be up for nomination potentially for the 2021 Oscars. I think that's how it works. Comment down below, or let me know if that's wrong, because I could totally, most definitely be wrong. But yeah, so the movie didn't get nominated for Best Picture. The nominations for Best Picture were The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, great film, Mank, something. Minari, sorry, Nomadland, um, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of Chicago 7. The Trial of the Chicago 7. Um, so here we go. Best actor in a leading role. So Riz Ahmed for The Sound of Metal, which was really good. It's about this dude who's getting ready to go deaf. Really good. And Riz Ahmed did a great job in that one. Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anthony Hopkins for The Father. Gary Oldman for Mank, and Stephen Ewan for Minari. Viola Davis got a nod, a nomination for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom as well, for Best Actress in a Leading Role. And she went up against Andra Day in The United States versus Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby for Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand for Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. All did great. And same with Best Actor in a Leading Role, all were great. So ultimately, I don't know who won Best Actress for a leading role, but I do know that um, Anthony Hopkins won. It's crazy. I'm in my dorm, so like there's people running through my doors, and every time like there's running or another door opens, like my door shakes or something. It's a little weird. So anyway, but Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor in a Leading Role for The Father in 2021, which no shade to my guy Odin, because Anthony Hopkins plays Odin. It's always going to be a Marvel reference at some point with me. Just get used to it. No shade to my guy Anthony Hopkins. He did a great job in The Father. Great actor in general, but it just made sense for Chadwick to win that Oscar that year. Like it just made sense. It it irritated me. It did. I'll be honest, but also I'm just like, there's a certain respect that I have for the Academy for, choosing Hopkins over Boseman a little bit, because I feel like, um, if they had chose Chadwick over Anthony Hopkins, I don't think they would have been wrong at all. But I feel like it would have been like a sympathy vote, like a pity vote, and I didn't want that for Chadwick. You know what I mean? Um, Now, in an argument, you could sit there and say, well, Heath Ledger, 2009 Oscar, he got the Oscar nod, yeah, but I mean, Heath Ledger, what he did in The Dark Knight as the Joker, that would have been highway robbery if he didn't win that Oscar that year. So, but a similar situation for Chadwick, but it really irked me because I'm just like, it's right there, and he did a great job. I know he did because he's never not done a great job. You know what I mean? So maybe if once I watch the film, once I watch Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, maybe I'll feel differently about it and be like, no, they made the right choice and gave it to Anthony Hopkins. I doubt it, but maybe my opinion will alter a little bit after I've seen the film. But so yeah, that's that. But I just thought it was really, really, really weird. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not gonna cry for spilt milk. It's whatever it is. I don't even like milk. I don't know why I use that analogy. I hate milk. Milk is atrocious. If you Milk is so bad. Like it is terrible. Milk is gross. Gross. Mind you, I do use milk to cook and to bake, and I use it for cereal and smoothies and whatnot, but milk is disgusting. I'm talking trash cheeks. All utter trash cheeks. Um, I can't stand milk. It's terrible. No one walks into the house except for my mom and my dad, which I don't understand why they do. It's so gross. It makes me sick to my stomach every time I see it. But no one willingly goes into their kitchen when they're thirsty and pulls out a carton of milk. No one does that. You don't do that. But no, no. Um, yeah. But anyway, that I didn't mean to go off on that tirade about milk, but just drink water. Drink. It's that simple. It's not hard. Just drink the water. It's not. I don't drink the water. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for that. That's episode one of this podcast. That's the verdict. My final decision, my final verdict after the end of episode one is that Chadwick Boseman is one of, if not the greatest actor of this generation. That's my verdict. Um, an argument could be made for Leo DiCaprio. Um, an argument could be made for Leo DiCaprio. I wouldn't slander you for saying Leonardo DiCaprio. I wouldn't slander you for saying RDJ either. But for my money, for the Superpower Man of the Hours money, give me Chadwick Boseman. And I think he also has a lot less duds than the others do. When you think about, win percentage as far as good film, bad film, his win percentage, it's insane. I mean, run it down. Look, Black Panther, automatic W. Uh, Get on Up, W. 42, W. 22 Bridges. It wasn't bad, but critically not a W. Critically not a W. But audience score, I would say it wasn't bad. But critically not a W. What else is out there? What else you got? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, W. Um, what else did he do? Civil War, W. Any Marvel property, unless it's a Thor movie, not named Ragnarok or Captain Marvel or Eternals. But any Marvel property, automatic W. Automatic W. If your name is not Thor the Dark World, Thor Love and Thunder, Eternals, there was one more. I literally just said it. Um, shoot. Yeah, if you're not one of those movies, Incredible Hulk. Yeah, that's the other one. Incredible Hulk. And Age of Ultron. They didn't really like that one, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty cool. But any Marvel property is a dub. So that's my verdict. Any Marvel property is a dub, and Chadwick Boseman is one of the greatest actors of this generation. This or any generation, honestly. I'll put that out there. Fight me. Put it in the comment section below, or do something. Get in touch with me on Instagram somehow, some way. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for this episode of The Verdict. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. This is a great first episode. I honestly had no idea what I was going to talk about, and that's how it's going to be for most of these episodes, unless I actually, come with some kind of structure, which we'll see. But thank y'all so much for watching. This has been a long time coming. So to the fact that I already have one episode in the canon and one episode pretty much getting ready to be published means a lot to me. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode of The Verdict. I officially end this court meeting. This has been The Verdict. Court is no longer in session. It's your one and only Superpower Man of the Hour. See you next time.